Hello, this is Ken with the AFK Show, and I'm here with Jonathan. He's the con chair of ApolloCon. So we're here to talk to him a little bit about ApolloCon. So tell me, when did ApolloCon begin?
Well, ApolloCon's been happening since 2004. It's been in this hotel since 2005. We started fairly small. They put it together about 6 months the first year, and since then it's been growing fairly regularly, slow but steady pace to we're around 500 attendees this year.
That's cool. And you're growing. You said you're growing every year. Is that what you said?
Well, some years are better than others. So this year we're probably going to be about the same as last year, attendance-wise. We had some issues with the committee, had some problems, and so we really didn't get organized as quickly as we'd like this year. But yeah, we should be about the same as last year, and something we can build on in the future.
That's cool, yeah. Well, I'm in the sci-fi, so to me it's a cool thing. I like it. So you're a nonprofit organization, is that correct?
Yes, we're a 501c3 educational organization. We have opportunities to learn all kinds of things across the hall. Even there's a demonstration of how to do ceramic art. We have a writer's workshop going on now. We have an actual educational teacher training that they're kind of a parallel thing they're working on for the future. Hasn't happened yet. And everybody here, everyone on staff is volunteer. In fact, we pay to be here. We buy our own memberships. We pay for the hotel. It costs a lot of money to put this on, and it's really a labor of love because we just love being here with all our friends from really all over the state and in some places very far away.
Right. Now, do you guys, as a 501c, do you guys support any kind of charity organizations or anything, or how does anything going on like that?
Yeah, we have an auction for charity every year. This year it's I'm going to screw up the name. The Houston Center for Literacy. There'll be an auction tonight, associated with, but separate from the art auction. And all the proceeds will go to the Center for Literacy. And it's there was a Star Trek fan, a very serious Star Trek fan, died this year, and her widower donated all of her memorabilia, books, and everything to be part of the auction. So we have an astounding collection of Star Trek memorabilia for the auction, and it's going to be amazing. Yes, we do support them.
Well, hopefully you'll raise a lot of money for that organization.
Yes. Well, we usually do about $1,000 for that, and the people that we donate to is a variety of charities. It's, like I said, we've been doing this for 10 years. It's our 10th year, we've done a variety of charities, mostly associated with educational outreach and that sort of thing.
So you said in 2004 it got started. Have you been involved with the con since then, or you kind of just come in some point in time, or how did you actually get involved in the con?
Oh boy. Originally, my wife said she read an email that was asking for suggestions for a name. So this was probably November of 2003, and I joined the committee and then quickly dropped out because I kind of decided I didn't want to be involved quite that much. But my wife did attend the first one, and she comes back and says, "We can run the con suite," and I said, "Sure, why not?" And so I've been on the committee ever since.
Okay, well, that's cool. So I take it you're some kind of sci-fi fan. What's your favorite sci-fi thing? Or, I mean, something got you interested in doing this. What was that?
Oh, well, I'm going to blame my dad. My father was a science fiction reader from a long time ago, and he had a collection of the Heinlein juvenile novels. So I'm a pretty serious reader. And I kind of continued that on. When he died, I got his books, and he never went to conventions, but he actually did encourage me to. I went to my first convention in 1982, so I've been doing this a long time, in 4 different states now, and it's kind of my thing. It's what I do when I'm not working or otherwise engaged.
Fans off to the side.
Actually, that's my daughter. My daughter's been going to conventions since. You're supposed to stand behind me and do the rabbit ears. My daughter's been going to conventions since.
Rabbit ears.
Yeah, I do that too. She's been. My entire family, my children. I have 2 children, 3 stepchildren. All of them, we've gone to conventions here in Houston, but not in any other states because traveling with kids is expensive.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, they come every year, and they're starting to be fans in their own right. So I'm really gratified to see the next generations coming along. And of course, their interests are different. She's big into art, and my son is big into gaming. And so this whole reading books is kind of passé.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking to our host, which isn't here today. But, I was saying, in 20 years from now, there won't be paper books like we know them today. Even today, a lot of the colleges are making the students buy digital books instead of paper books. And, so a lot of those books, luckily, now it's more multimedia, so you can watch your favorite, show. And I don't really know how many people are actually reading anymore. Even we were talking to Hound Comics, Brimstone with Hound Comics. All his comic books are going digital. I know DC, I think, is starting to go digital. I just talked to somebody about them putting their comics on digital format. So we are moving that direction. So the way I see it now is like, everybody's like, oh, I want the #1, first edition Batman or first edition Superman. Well, eventually it'll be all paper comics. Will be like a collector's item because, you would just won't be able to get them as easily anymore.
Right. Well, I view the electronic book thing as kind of a mixed blessing. One of the I happen to be aware of the trend toward electronic tech books. The big problem I have with those is they go away. The DRM makes them turn into nothing, gibberish, at the end of the semester. And I have most of my textbooks left from when I was in college, so I just can't imagine liking that very much. On the other hand, I don't have a tablet or an e-reader yet, simply because my emphasis is going in a different direction. But I do have a smartphone, and I've got the reader apps for the smartphone, and I have a great many books, some of which are bought and paid for, some of which are out of copyright. So the Google books, the Google Play books. Really old. I mean, I have a book on steam turbines that was written in 1916, and it's all physics, so it doesn't change over time. In fact, as part of the, I'm joining I've bought a membership in this year's WorldCon, which is in San Antonio. You should totally go. Their bid package, since you vote, Hugos are voted on and awarded at this convention. They're voted on by the membership of the convention. Their Hugo package is electronic copies of everything that was nominated. Crisis averted.
So, just a couple more questions, and we'll let you get back to busy con chair work. But where do you see ApolloCon going, like, in the next 5 years? I mean, I kind of like the smaller cons myself, because it doesn't seem like you're in such a rush. Like, we've been to several that are so big, it's just like, as a fan, there's so many panels or so many guests that you want to see. It's really hard to see everything, even in a 3-day con. And so the smaller cons to me are more intimate, more pleasurable, a little bit laid back. So where do you see ApolloCon going?
Well, our focus has always been on a kind of a balance of things, where we have our primary emphasis is in the written word, whether it's electronic or paper, but we also have the gaming, and we have movies, and we have art, and we have, of course, vendors, which help our bottom line. Because even if we're nonprofit, we do have to come pretty close to even. And so our emphasis has not been on being large or small. It's being on maintaining this balance among different interests. On the other hand, more people means more resources that you can use to do the sorts of things that we want to do. So we intend to continue to grow at a fairly steady pace as long as we can maintain, like I said, the balance. The other thing that we really want to do, and this is kind of a personal mission of mine, is to engage more of the community. I mean, you figure the greater Houston metropolitan area has about 4 million people in it. There are going to be somewhere between 400 and 500 people here. And many of those are going to be from Dallas or Austin or San Antonio. So you figure we ought to be able to get, 1 in 10,000 people here just from Houston, maybe 2 in 10,000, and that would be at about 1,000 people. And we think that's about the right size for this thing in terms of a growth target. But it all depends upon getting our message out that we're here, that we're a fun time, that we're real friendly, and I won't make you work real hard if you just show up. I laugh at that, but there's like what I tell people when they talk to me about being on the committee or doing volunteer work or whatever. I say attendee is like the base level of involvement, because we're not here to be entertained, we're here to interact. So it's not a passive or a consumer of the things going on. We're here, we're involved, we're doing the things that are going on. And that's is true for somebody who shows up for a couple hours on Sunday, as it is of somebody who shows up on Thursday and goes home on Monday and is here the whole weekend. So I mean, it's very interactive. It's all about people doing things, not observing things.
So one last thing is, somebody wants to get in touch with you guys, wants to see what's going on for next year's con, website, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Yes, we have a Facebook page, ApolloCon. We have ApolloCon.org, APOLLOCON.org. They have contact email there, conchair.2013 at ApolloCon.org. Shows up in my mailbox. I'll be happy to talk to you. And we would love to hear from anybody who is interested in this sort of thing. And even if you're not sure you're interested in that sort of thing, come on out and check it out. It's only, I believe it's $25 for Saturday pass, and Saturday's the night to be here because of all the room parties. We'll have the big show at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I don't know. I don't keep track of the schedule. But we have a big show this evening, followed by a dance. There'll be people here in costumes showing them off. Actually, there'll be people in the halls in costumes showing them off.
I actually did see there's a masquerade ball or something at sometime this evening.
Well, it's a masquerade, which is basically a costume show. There's a stage set up. The people who have costumes get on the stage. They may have something prepared, a short little skit. It's like a cosplay, only shorter. Something not everybody does, but it's basically a costume parade, and then we'll make awards some prizes, and then afterwards we take all the chairs away, and our fabulous DJ Hawes does a dance until he gets tired of it and wants to go home.
That's pretty cool, and that involves the fans a lot, I think, doing things like that.
Well, yes. I mean, like I said, we are here to interact with each other, and a lot of interesting people here. You've got music, and you've got art, and you've got, like I said, gamings, and parties all night long. So if you want to have fun, come on out.
Well, thanks, Jonathan, for your time and talking to us at the AFK show. And we look forward to next year. That'd be awesome.
I'm just thrilled to be here. I love it. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it's always better if you enjoy your work than it not. So, well, I'm Ken with the AFK show. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and like us on Facebook. Thanks.